Good afternoon. It is 2 o'clock on Sunday, May 1st, my birthday. Yay me. Turn my car off. It is 16 degrees Celsius right now. It's beautiful out. It's very overcast, but it's very nice out. Very enjoyable. I'm sitting down at Canatera Beach. Well, Canatera Park. The beach is over that way. I'm in the park area. It's very wet. I would not want my kids playing here today. Very muddy. But anybody watching, how you doing? What you been up to all weekend? My boyfriend came down yesterday. It was so nice. And we went out into a place called Forest and found a really lovely walking trail. I'll bet you we were out there for a couple hours walking through the woods and stuff. I put up in my shorts, I think for June, just a quick clip of some stuff that we found walking through. Some stuff I just couldn't get my phone out fast enough to catch. There was a few things. We found a random animal leg bone, like up in a tree. It's kind of weird. All kinds of trees that have been like chewed down by beavers and stuff. So just like the weird chewed up stumps and stuff. It was really neat, and they were all quite fresh looking. And I just didn't think to get my phone out and record it, but it was really neat. We saw lots of weird shit there. There's like this abandoned van that he was saying has been there for like 30 years or something, which is weird because it's a huge forest area. It's huge. And then there's the paths that sort of go through it, and they're all color-coded and stuff. And at some point, we reached this van. He kept calling it Scooby-Doo van. Scooby-Doo crew's been lost in there for like 30 years, la la. And I had no idea what the hell he was talking about until we came upon the van, and it looks like the Mystery Machine. It is so weird. It is so weird. And it has been there for a good long while. I did get that on video, and that's what I put up in my shorts for June, because I already have one up for scheduled for later this month. So yeah, it was a very interesting day. It was hot. It was a lot warmer walking through there than I thought it was going to be. I wore jeans and a black hoodie and actual walking boots this time because I didn't want to die. Because of the fiasco last year, we've learned. Proper foot attire is paramount. So yeah, but it was hot as fuck. Oh my god, it was so hot. It was so hot. I could have literally wrung out my sweater by the time we were done. And we didn't bring any drinks in with us. Like, we did not think this through at all. Like last summer when we did these walks a few times at different parks and conservation areas and stuff. We usually bring water and Gatorade and stuff. Not yesterday. No, sir. It was a lot. It was a good time, though. It was a lot of fun. He really enjoys walking in the brush and stuff like that. So I enjoy it too. I tend to panic. Like, there was this really marshy area that we had to cross. And no matter where you stepped, you were stepping in the mud, like, which is fine. I wore my walking boots for that reason. But it was so marshy. Like, there were spots where if you stepped on it, you were sinking like knee deep. Like, it was crazy. So we had to walk over these big old branches that had kind of fallen. And I was kind of panicking about it. Like, I had visions of me, like, rolling my ankle and breaking my ankle and ending up in the mud, and I was not amused. And so I'm looking for a way to go around it. He's like, there's not a way to go around it. And he's throwing, like, more and more big branches in to try and make me feel better. And he's like, just do it. Just do it. Just get up there, take my hand. He says, I'll walk over it with you. I'm like, no! It's just... oh, shaking, and it's just like, I was not amused. And I finally said, you know what, just let me panic. Let me panic. Just let me panic. I'll do it. Just let me do what I gotta do. I gotta panic first. Like, let me get over this. Because now I'm shaking, and I'm making, like, a big deal of it out in my head and everything. And it's like, I just need to work through it. And then, like, I'll get pissed off at myself at what a dick I am, and I'll just fucking do it. Like, you know, which is what happened. I panicked, and then got mad at myself, and just went, fuck it. And it was fine. But, and he's getting so good with that stuff. Like, he doesn't make a big deal about it. He doesn't even acknowledge it anymore. It's like, oh my God, thank God. Thank God. Because he used to try to make me feel better and stuff, which just made me feel worse. It was like, just don't even acknowledge that, like, just don't. So, good for him. Good man. But when we did get back to the car finally, he got in the car and we turned the air on because it was fucking hot. And I was really torn between having to go to the bathroom and really needing a cigarette. I didn't bring my cigarette into the woods. I don't, when we do walks like that, I don't bring my cigarettes with me. I try not to. So, because if I have them, I will smoke one, and I don't want to be responsible for no fire. So, I left everything in the car. I just hid everything in the car. But I was like, yeah, you go ahead, turn the car on, turn the air on, cool down. I said, I'm just going to have the world's fastest cigarette. And then we'll drive back into town because we're, like, out in the middle of nowhere. We'll drive back into town and, you know, grab some cold drinks and rest for a minute. So that's what we did. And then we got home. Well, Boo Boo texted me. Were we in the car? Yeah, we'd just gotten into the car and we're heading back into town. And Boo Boo texted me. He's like, yeah, you can come pick me up whenever, because he's working all weekend. And I was like, what? Because we talked about this. I told him, look, Big Daddy's coming down this weekend. It's my birthday weekend. I'm not doing nothing for you. It's all about me, okay? I want to spend time with my babe. I want to go and do some walking trails. I want to get outside, like, because it was really nice yesterday. It was perfect walking weather, except that I had overdressed. You know, like, I'm not driving you to work. I'm not picking you up. I'm not, no, doing what I want to do this weekend. So I text him back. I'm like, honey, like, we're not even in town. I can't help you. We talked about this. Sorry. You know, I said, we're also going out for dinner tonight, so. And he was fine. He was sweet. He texted me back. He's like, sorry, my bad. I forgot all about it. It's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. So, we got home, and Boo Boo was home by the time we got home. It was probably, well, he would have texted somewhere not quite 5 o'clock. So it was probably about 6-ish when we got home. And we sat down for a little bit. My boyfriend, poor man, he was doing the nod on the kid. Well, I'd gone into Timmy's on our way home to get a cold coffee. And I had to wash my face. I was so hot. Oh, man, I was so hot. I had to cool down a little bit. And he was doing the nod in the car. So we got him a Monster, got him an energy drink, and he was fine. But by the time we got home, he was doing the knot on the couch. And I said, babe, like, I'll set a timer and just crash for, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes. Like, it's fine. And he was all, no, it's like 6:30. We got to go eat, la, la, la. Like, but if you're going to be doing the knot at the restaurant, like, just take a power nap. It's fine. So I waited until he passed out, and then I set a timer. I fiddled around on the social medias for a bit and let him take a nap. I was like, poor babe. So, yeah, he slept about half an hour, and he woke up on his own. He was like all startled and stuff. I'm laughing at him. I was like, you ready for dinner now? It's so funny. So we went to, what the hell's that place called? We went to Eastside Mario's for dinner. Eastside is like the best place in the world to go. It's one of the very few places where you can get your money's worth because of the free soup and salad and the breadsticks. And oh shit, yeah. Give me that friggin' bread. Oh yeah. So we did that. It was very, very good. Their food is always very good. I think we've only ever had one major problem there where we actually couldn't eat what was brought to us. And they gave us a free meal the next time we came in. It was like they made it right. It was fine. I don't even think we paid for our drinks that night. The guy was like we showed the manager, like my pasta was swimming in olive oil rather than pasta sauce. Like, it was weird. And it did not taste good. It tasted like olive oil. Like, it was and it was the same sort of idea for my boyfriend, and I think he had like lasagna or something. Like, I don't know what the cook's thing was with olive oil that night, but goddamn, everything was just swimming in it. It was horrible. And normally, if something goes wrong with an order, you know, just send it back and they send you like a fresh one. Like, it's fine. I don't care. Like, I've worked in the restaurant industry. Like, I get it. It's fine. Like, I don't make a big deal about it. But that particular night, we had waited a good long while. Like, they were busy, which was fine. Like I said, I've worked in the industry. I get it. Like, my boyfriend was getting a little impatient. But it's like, free soup, salad, and breadsticks, man. Like, who the fuck cares? If by the time our food comes, we're too full, you pack that shit up, bring it home, and eat it later. Like, it's fine. You know? But that night, by the time we got our meal and then got our server to come back because of the state of the food and having the manager, it was like, it had to have been damn near like 9:30. Like, it was crazy. And I think they close at like 10:30, something like that, like the kitchen. And then their closed at like 11. So we're like, yeah, like there's just no time. But like I said, we'd filled up on the soup, salad, and breadsticks, kind of on the in-between. And we didn't pay for anything that night. We didn't pay for our pop. We didn't pay for anything. They were really, really good about it. The manager was super, super sorry. It's like, hey, man, unless you were the one in the kitchen doing with the olive oil, it's not your fault. Like, it's fine. I really enjoy that restaurant. They're very, very, very nice over there. And their food is generally awesome. But, you know, you go anywhere long enough, you're bound to run into some fuckery like that. So, it's fine. But we had a really good time. And I'll bet you, we watched a movie, too, when we came home. That took a while. It takes us forever to find something to watch. We have very different taste in movies. But he couldn't find anything, or he was hesitant to pick something. So I was like, okay, well, you know what? Like, he's not a huge horror fan. I'm a huge horror fan. I love me a good horror movie. like a seriously scary one or like a super graphic one. Like, I'm all about that stuff. I love it. But he's not really into that. He likes like your psychological thrillers, your whodunits, your action movies, things like that. He doesn't really like the slasher film. So I said, well, let's cut it down the middle. Because I love old movies. I was like, let's watch the Town That Dreaded Sundown. Have you seen that? Of course he hasn't. He knew nothing about it. I was like, oh man, like it's a classic. It is like it's awesome. I said, but I can't show you. We watched it on the Prime, which usually has previews. But the preview the Prime has for The Town That Dreaded Sundown, like the original one, the preview is like kind of the opening scene, and it's extremely annoying. Like it's a chick screaming for 6 minutes or whatever. Like it's annoying as fuck. It's the worst part of the whole movie. This chick just screaming. Like, shut up. Kill her already. Never rooted for somebody's death more. So he had to kind of go in blind. I don't think he appreciated it. It's got a lot of, it's got some, well, it has its share of cheese to it. I think it's a good movie. I really enjoy it. It's a movie that I watch frequently. I think it's funny as hell. It has the creep factor, but it's also quite funny. So we watched that and went to bed. So I'd say probably by about 12:30 at the latest, we went to bed. And then this morning I was teasing the shit out of him because I don't know what the hell time I woke up, but I woke up to the loudest, most obnoxious snoring I have ever heard from anybody. Now, I snore, okay? I wake myself up snoring sometimes. And he snores, and I'm used to it. It's fine. But this was next level. Like, usually I can kind of bump him or be like, babe, you need to roll over. Babe, you're snoring. And he'll stop. Like, he doesn't wake up or anything. He just, and he stops. Last night, there was no stopping him. He was going like a wood chipper. Jesus fucking Christ. I had to leave. I had to leave and go into Monkey's room to escape because there was no going back to sleep. I tried. And he was not stopping. In fact, he was getting louder and more intense. And I was like, oh my, like, you're going to break my windows, dude. Like you're sucking all the oxygen out of the room. Like, would you stop? And it was either leave the room or suffocate him with a pillow. So I opted to leave the room. And I was teasing him about it this morning. He's just like, I was really tired. I was like, you sure were. That is not happening again. It's funny. But it was a good time. It was a good weekend. I enjoyed myself. And I know he really enjoyed that walk. He loves those walks, so I like to walk too. So it's a nice way to spend time together and just kind of, we kind of poke fun at each other. And he pretended like he was going to toss me, and there was this like ravine. I think I have that up for one of my shorts too. And the way that the tree kind of fell or grows into this ravine, like it's really, it looks like a ship. Like it's really kind of neat. It's neat what nature does. And I was filming it. I filmed different things throughout our walk. And I told him I was filming. Because I know he doesn't want to be on video or anything, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to film this. Like, just Go away. And he was talking to me about flowers or something, because there was all these random wildflowers. They were so pretty. But I was filming this thing in the ravine, and as I was finishing up, he was talking to me and he said something, and I was like, what? And he grabbed my shoulders and I damn near shit my pants. I know he would never do it, but I mean, because I'd be dead. But it's like I'm just so uptight. It's like, oh shit. But thankfully I turned the video off like as that was happening, so when I got home and I played it back, it doesn't have me flipping out after. Because I was like, yeah, it was funny. I was laughing, but at the same time, there was a lot of cursing. He does shit like that to me all the time. He's the one that, like, when we're walking through the grocery store or something, he will shove me into an aisle of toilet paper or paper towel or what. Like, he'll totally do that. Like, every time we walk by something soft, I'm like, don't push, don't do it. I know he wants to. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he'll pretend to do it, and I'm like, ah! Freaking out, and everybody stops and looks at us like, I'm crazy. I get, yeah, okay. Like, it's not him at all. No. It's so funny. But anyways, that was my weekend. It was a good time. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. But we're about 20 minutes or so in, so I'm going to bounce. I have some stuff to do around the house today. And I have to pick Boo Boo up at like 5. So anybody who happens to be watching, thank you. I appreciate you. Sorry, I'm in the park and it's really distracting. I appreciate you. I hope you had a fabulous weekend. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk later.